Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, hello. I appreciate your host having made me a presenter at the Conference for Global Transformation. In the next 3 minutes, I'm about to present to you a new water technology that's going to redefine how we live on planet Earth. But before I do, I want to share with you a story and how this entire endeavor began. So it's 4 years ago. I'm selling everything I own. I'm quitting my job after working in corporate America, designing advanced surgical instruments for like 10 years. And I was going through what I call a dark night of the soul. And being the kind of guy that doesn't really ask for help, I isolated myself. And what that looked like was going all the way to Australia and living in the back of this van alone for 1 year. Right. So now every day living in the back of this van, I was facing a really big problem. I was always getting dirty. And in order for me to take a shower, I would have to run through all my drinking water. But as you can imagine, being in the Australian outback or in the middle of the bush, running out of water is a really bad idea. So I just did not take any showers for weeks. And it was bad. So bad that I just smelled like a homeless beggar on the corner of the streets. It was really bad. And months into this trip, my isolation, and I was isolated for extended periods of time, it was just getting darker, if you know what I mean. My dark night of the soul was getting darker, darker, and darker. Anyway, so feeling like some sort of outlier that I don't really fit in, and my self-esteem was just eroding over time. And it was kind of ironic because, I was driving forward, but at the same time, I was just really stuck and hitting rock bottom in life. And so all of this, a couple months into my trip, had a major turn. It was an Australian family who was watching what I was doing, and they invited me to their home. And I'm going to just tell you, I just didn't feel like I belonged anywhere. And it just took an extraordinary amount of kindness and compassion on their part to just provide a means for me to restock on water and food. And they just didn't know, at that time, I really needed help. And so I'll never forget it. I was in their home, and that was the first time to be in a home for months. And I'm standing in their shower. I didn't turn on the shower knob yet. I didn't turn it on yet because I was just staring at this shower head like it was some sort of alien device. And it was really clear at that time, my past relationship with water was just totally taken for granted. And then when I turned the knob, I rediscovered this transformational power that water has. It was much more than just feeling refreshed. It was reminding me that I'm not the sum total of all my past experiences and all these relationships that were not working for me. And so, just water gave me a whole new start in life. And it's kind of hard to explain, but after not showering for weeks, it really turned me around. And so that's when water became super sacred for me. And so I'm going back in the van and looking at finding a way to continue this newfound relationship with water that was just totally sacred. And I was trying to find an answer to this question. How do I make the most of every drop of water? And that question, it stopped me in my tracks. Because if I found the answer to that, I knew that it would change the world. Living in the back of a van gave me enough compassion, empathy, and experience to know what it's like for the 2.3 billion people who are living in water-stressed regions of the world. And the majority of them have it way worse than I did, because I still had drinking water in the van. 1.6 billion people have to walk up to 5 hours just to get some clean drinking water. And the majority of them are women, by the way. I mean, like, they're not pursuing a career. They're spending a lot of their time carrying buckets of water in their head just to, obtain and get some basic needs met for themselves and their family. So the way I see this is water is kind of like becoming a women's rights issue in certain corners of the world. And that's for drinking water. I mean, there's 20 million people in the world who are drinking water that's still contaminated with human feces. And that's because people are still defecating in streets and rivers, and that's going into their water supply. And that's a really big problem, because there's a lot of children who are dying due to dehydration, cholera, diarrhea, water-related diseases. So the way I see all this is like, look, we're not going to be able to build a prosperous world on thirsty souls, contaminated water, and dry streams. And so it was at that realization when I decided and committed my life to redefining everyone's approach to every drop of water. Now, I understand that we are all sharing a standard of living that's quite, high. And some of you may be thinking, like, this may not be really like your problem, but check this out. We've got 11 cities around the globe that are quickly approaching day zero. And if you've never heard of that, that is a point in time when the city's water tap and their water wells are completely dry. And now they got to start importing water just to sustain life in these cities. And the United Nations just shared a report that by 2050, 50% of the world's population is going to be living in a water-stressed region of the world. So I'm not going to sit idly by and watch this unfold into a big mess. I say we can alter the course of what's happening in the world's water situation. How? Well, today a shower consumes this amount of water. We can now consume this amount of water and still get clean. How do we do that? With something called the Geyser System. It's a energy efficient, compact way to allow people to get clean with less than a gallon of water or 3 liters of water. And what's great is that this consumes 20 times less water than your average shower. It operates with 2 parts. First, there's a pump that operates like your heart. The more you need, the faster it's going to pump. And then we disperse water, instead of out of a shower head that's spraying water everywhere, we disperse it instead through a scrub that is going to disperse the water exactly where you need it. That way, we're making the most of every drop of water. And what's great is that these are affordable, and you can easily click this into a unit that's going to be shared with the entire community. So this is not just any idea. It's already available and sold at REI, which is America's largest camping retail store. And people who enjoy the great outdoors or are living in the back of camper vans are using this to get clean while making the most of their limited resources. And why am I sharing this with you? And why am I sharing this at this conference? Well, we meet in an organization that is known for transformation, that's known for making new possibilities happen, and that's known for inspiring integrity. And right now, the world needs all 3. Share this video with any global leader that you may know that's looking to make the most of their limited resources and is ready to make the difference for the 2.3 billion people that are living in water-stressed regions of the world. I hope this story inspires you to redefine how you live on planet Earth and how to make the most of all our sacred resources. Wherever you are or wherever you're going, Just trust that life's chaos, surprises, and trials are putting you on a path to shift what's possible around the world. Thank you very much, and I hope to hear from you soon.